Oh, what's up, dude?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I got the stimulus money. We can finally build the keyboard that we've always talked about.
Nice. Yeah, we can totally build you something sweet for that. Hey, what is that, money?
Oh yeah, it's my stimulus money. I'm finally gonna build the keyboard of my dreams.
No, we're not gonna buy keyboards, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that money, we're gonna put it into the game stonks, and we're gonna ride this rocket ship to the moon! I mean, what are you, some kind of paper-handed bitch?
I don't want to be a paper hands.
I don't know, dude. I mean, can we even trust this guy?
I mean, he seems pretty on the level.
Diamond hands.
Ah, what the hey? I think I'll YOLO.
Suit yourself.
A few weeks later.
Hey man, you think you could help me build a keyboard for like under $100?
Yeah, don't worry, dude. I got you. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brainbean here again. Today, we're gonna help my friend out here, and we're gonna take a look at the top 5 picks for the best keyboards under $100. So with that, let's just get going. The first keyboard we're going to look at comes in at the top end of our budget, right around 99 bucks. The Hexgears Impulse is about a year old, but it still brings with it a ton of serious value packed in at its price point. In fact, this keyboard's been featured in some of my top 5 keyboard lists over the last few years, regardless of price. The Impulse has great build quality with a metal top plate behind the switches that's mounted onto a plastic casing, which gives it that classic exposed switch design, and it brings with it a ton of flashy RGB goodness with nice, bright, and saturated LEDs. It's got stock PBT pudding style keycaps that really let those lights pop, and there's a 360-degree RGB light bar that seamlessly wraps around the entire keyboard. The Impulse doesn't use any lighting software though, so you are limited to preset lighting effects or you have to individually program the lights. There are, however, a really good amount of preset lighting options that go above and beyond the typical light wave that we see on most keyboards. In fact, many of these animations that are on the Hexgears Impulse are some that I've never seen anywhere else, and they're really nice and smooth. And you can also change the light bar setting independently of what you have on the keys. The Impulse gives you the choice of either Kale box white switches or box browns, which I think is a pretty respectable switch choice in this price range, but it's also hot swappable with a 3-pin PCB, so you can put other switches in this board if you want. The stock stabilizers on this board really aren't that bad either. They're quite good. All in all, I think this keyboard is a really great buy for the money, which is why it's appeared on so many of my top 5 lists. I mean, we're talking PBT pudding style keycaps, pretty decent switches out of the box, plus good stabilizers and hot swap capability, a metal body construction, and in my eyes, in terms of overall value, the Impulse is just one of the better options for a full-size keyboard. Next, we have the SK96. Now, this 96% layout is one of my personal favorites. It's ideal for those of you that can't imagine life without all the keys of a full size, but it also gives you full-size functionality and feel while being a little bit more compact. There's a lot to like going on with the SK96, and it packs in some serious value again, which is why it made this list. It's got some nice weighty construction with an all-plastic case that doesn't feel cheap, removable USB-C cable, and full perky RGB, which is controlled directly on the keyboard. And although I probably don't need to mention this, the flashing you're seeing on the lights and the clips is just from the camera, and you won't notice that with the human eye. It is hot swappable, but do keep in mind that this board uses optical switches, so traditional mechanical switches won't work with this kind of PCB. It's kind of a plus and a minus, as opticals tend to have less of the issues mechanicals do, but there's also less of a selection out on the market right now. I also like that they include one of 7 different Gateron optical switches for you to try out, so it's a nice way to broaden your switch horizons and find which type you'll like next. I'll also throw a link in the description of this video for you guys where you can check out all the other Gateron optical switches. You can order about 70 of them for like 20 bucks on Amazon, so it's a pretty easy way to swap out and try other switches for cheap. This board also comes with some really nice dye sublimated PBT keycap stock, and the stabilizers on this one are quite impressive for the money. Just give these a listen. Next, we have the Keychron K2. This board does come in right at around 100 bucks, and I know there are other variations now of this keyboard like the K6s, which add hot swap capability, but those don't fall in the $100 category. So even though while it might be worth it for you to look into like the K6 65% with hot swap, damn it, we're talking about keyboards under 100 bucks here, so just can't include it. The Keychron K2 is an 84 key compact version of a 10 keyless keyboard, and it's available in a couple of different varieties. There's a plastic case with RGB, and there's also a version without RGB if you want to save a little bit of money. Or again, for the 99 bucks, you can get the aluminum case with RGB, which is what you'll see in these clips. And really, I would recommend going that route if you're going to get this keyboard anyways, because it's just going to be a much better buy for the money. This wireless keyboard checks a lot of boxes with solid construction, really good battery life with its 4000 milliamp hour battery. It comes with Gateron blue, black, or red switches, but keep in mind this one is not hot swappable. It uses ABS keycaps, which will get a bit shiny over time. And with the compact layout of this keyboard, if you do want to swap into some PBTs, it's going to be a little bit harder to find, not to mention much more expensive to do so. I do, however, like that the keycaps on this board have a nice clean font, good shine through to them, and they do have a really nice looking three-tone colorway, which is a plus. Next up, we've got the Epomaker SK71. Now for 80 bucks, this board is going to be really similar to the SK96 that I mentioned earlier, just with a really cool compact 71 key layout. If you've ever wanted a small 60% size board but wish you could keep your number pad, this is going to be the board for you. Like the SK96, you get the optical hot swap, Bluetooth wireless capability just with a little bit smaller 1900 milliamp hour battery, PBT dye sublimated GSA profile keycaps, USB-C connectivity, and onboard RGB. Really, it's going to basically be the same board just with a different layout and with different colorway options, a two-tone gray and red or a white, gray, and red option. I really like the SK71 personally. It's one of my favorite boards I've reviewed over the last few years. I think Epomaker is really able to deliver an impressive out-of-the-box experience with their keyboards at a really good price. There's a pretty good switch selection stock with Gateron where you can get the optical brown, black, blue, or red switches. And of course, you can also pick up the sets like I mentioned earlier and get something like Gateron yellows if you want a lighter, faster linear switch for around 22 bucks or so, which would still make this board be a little bit less than 100 bucks. And in the interest of not making this video just overly convoluted, there's the SK96. Now we're looking at the SK71. There's also an 84 key. You've got a 64 key. You've got the 60%. I mean, there's so many other variations, and they're all going to get even more inexpensive the smaller you go. So those are also worthy options of looking at as well. And lastly, we have the Ducky One Mini, the keyboard that started the 60% compact keyboard craze. And I do want to point out that there are several versions of this keyboard out there, and most of them are all over 100 bucks. So you've got the Mecha all metal versions, the 65% variation, and a bunch of limited edition colorways too. But the original Ducky One Mini is just 99 bucks, and it's a really good bet for somebody who wants a solid 60% keyboard. This is the keyboard, after all, that really popularized this compact 60% form factor, and it still holds up well today. It's made up of a two-toned plastic case that's wrapped around its metal top plate. It's got some heft to it without being overly weighty. It comes with stock PBT shine-through keycaps and has the benefit of having a standard layout, which will make it easy to swap out to other keycap sets if you want to later. You can get it in 6 different Cherry MX switch styles: blue, black, red, brown, silent, and speed switches. Although like many of the keyboards on this list, this keyboard is not hot swappable, although Ducky has been dipping their toes into hot swaps, so we might see a newer version of this key in the future that does have this capability. It's got a removable USB-C cable, and you can get full-size keyboard functionality with this keyboard via the function key, as well as change all of the lighting directly on the keyboard. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Like I said, I've got links to full-length reviews as well as links to purchase these keyboards down in the description for you. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any keyboard you think I missed that deserve to be on this list. Also, if you want to check out more budget stuff, I've also got a video where I took the 3 best bundles on Amazon for mouse and keyboards under 50 bucks and put them all head to head. So if you want to check that out, bam, down in the description for you as well. If you made it this far into the video, I'd love to see you subscribe. So I've got a lot more videos coming for you in the near future. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next one.